This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake your fire.
Wake your fuck ass up.
Shade 4-5, Sway in the morning. Just share some off the mic conversation with Quentin Tarantino.
Don't tell.
Heather B was talking about her experience on the casting couch. That's how you.
What?
That's how you do it.
I was reminding Quentin
A
that
girl's got to get ahead.
a girl has to get ahead. Quentin knows that, and he agrees. And I was just sharing with Sway my time with Quentin on the casting couch. It was fabulous, and letting Sway know now to citizens. Thanks to Quentin, I'll be busy 2016.
That's it, baby.
That's right. Heather B is going to be in the Quentin Tarantino moment in life.
Hey.
I'm not sure if it's going to make the screen. I was just adding up the money you generated for a lot of important people in Hollywood, Quentin, and my rough guesstimate is about $1,400,000,000. A little over that, more than that.
Wow, yeah.
That's gross.
And that's, what I'm the proudest of about that is I don't do commercial movies per se with the right quotes around it. I mean, I just do my own thing that interests me, and then end up developing a following that people actually support it. So the fact that I actually do it because out of these crazy little ideas that I have that I write down is pretty cool.
And I like that attitude you take about it. It's your eighth? This your eighth film? Are you really going to stop at 10? You said that in the past.
That's the idea. I mean, it might be 11, but it's not going to be 12 or 13 or 14 and just going to keep on going at a certain point. I want to get out while I'm still in a creative high point. I want there to be. I don't want to keep working and become an older director. Now there's the films he did during this phase and then the film he did during that phase. I like the fact that there's an umbilical cord from the first movie to the very end. And the idea is to leave you wanting a little bit more.
A little more, right.
I see that. But then where are you going to funnel the creativity that's still bubbling? Have you decided where you're going to take it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about it is, my work has been getting, since Kill Bill, my work has been getting more literary as it's been going on anyway.
Yeah.
So I could totally see myself writing plays and directing plays, writing novels, writing cinema books and stuff. I mean, that's how I kind of become a man of letters. And that's kind of how I want to spend my twilight years.
It's interesting you say about your work just becoming more literary, because we had Kurt Russell in here yesterday, who is...
Snake Plissken!
Yes, exactly. And we were talking about, DB had brought up the fact that the Hateful Eight was initially not made for film, right?
Well, it was going to be a film, and then the script got leaked, and so he did a live reading with Sam Jackson and some of the other cast members.
He's describing it right. Yeah, the thing is, the script got leaked. I was questioning, did I even want to continue? Because they kind of kicked me in the shins during my creative process, and I was so mad that I was going to punish the world by denying them of my genius. I'll show you.
But
a friend of mine, Elvis Mitchell, has been doing these script readings at Los Angeles County Museum of Art. And so he'd been asking me to do one for a while, but, other older scripts and stuff. And then I said, well, what if I did that first draft of The Hateful Eight? Just do that. And he goes, oh, that's never been done before, a script that hasn't been done. And so I did it, and I literally did it with most of the cast that's in the movie now. And we rehearsed it for about 3 days, and then went out there and did it at the Ace Hotel in downtown LA with about 1,300 people watching the audience. And it was really gratifying. It was a really cool experience. And it actually gave us a lot of confidence in the material that this is the way to go. But once I actually had the actors that I wanted to do the piece with, and I started that rehearsal process, I knew I was going to do it, that I was going to get over my petulantness.
Well, Kurt Russell heard a different story of why you actually did the film, and he wanted to ask you this question.
So, Quentin, I got a question for you. Is it true that you did this movie, The Hateful Eight, because Sam Jackson said you should?
It was, no.
Okay, good. Good answer.
Well, no, I mean, he said I should. Tim Roth said I should. They all were like, apparently Sam was in England doing one of his 1,000,000 movies at the time. I think probably The Kingsman. He was doing The Kingsman. And he's read the script and he's all excited about playing Major Warren, and here it goes. And all of a sudden his manager goes, Quentin just said he's not going to do the movie. What? That motherfucker better get over that shit.
Damn, that's a pretty damn good Sam there, Quentin.
Well, I've been writing for him for a while.
Okay, yeah, you got him down pat. This is what I want to do. I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to come back and talk about the movie. We all got a chance to see it last night. So,
what y'all think?
I thought the cinematography was excellent. I was curious how did you shoot like the scenes with the outside scenes? Did you
in the snow and stuff?
In the snow,
Yeah.
Did you use natural light or did you?
Oh yeah, well, it was pretty much natural light and like reflectors.
Okay.
You throw a little bit of light on a reflector and it bounces it back, and then you actually use the whiteness of the snow to bounce certain lights off. But the idea is to create a natural look, and also so you can see the snow falling in a nice contrast.
Okay, and then also you hang on to it. First of all, you got to get your mind ready because it's a 3-hour movie.
Well, if you go see the big 70 millimeter, it's actually not a 3-hour movie. Like 12 minutes of that is the intermission.
My bad. Okay. My bad, Quentin. My bad. Okay, so that's
and look, and most people are gonna go see it at a multiplex or something, and that's not the 70 millimeter version. That's more, that's more like the length of Django.
Okay, the length of Django. So. In the entire time, there's not you're constantly wondering what's going to happen next. And then I love movies of suspense. Yeah. If I had one thing and this is because I'm black, is that nigga word just cringed me after a while.
Well, I'm glad you didn't live back at that time.
Okay, yeah. That nigga word, man. I was like, you beat NWA on the nigga word.
Yeah, well, it's like, that's what time it was back then. And it's supposed to be ugly. It's almost. The dialogue is almost meant to be its own form of violence in the movie. Yeah, but you gave Samuel Jackson's character. I liked it because in my own black mind, I felt like this is how I processed it. This is some fucked up times back then, right? Yeah, man. And Sam Jackson's character says when he had this fake letter from the. Okay.
Damn. Come on,
okay.
bro.
Okay. Hold up.
He's off the leash, man. What's going on?
Then I can't say much of what I like.
Got leaked. Now the movie's getting leaked. Thanks for
Let's just say.
But the point he made about being having
can I say the word?
Yes, please.
Disarming
white folks.
He made a.
Black folks are only safe when white folks are disarmed.
Yeah,
that was
true.
Important. Like, okay,
true that.
All right, and the other
and that still stays true to this day.
Okay, so I like that was in there too, and so and then there was another line where can I say a line?
Yeah,
paraphrasing where he said, "You better shit that gun out your ass." All right, I won't explain where that came from.
Right.
Okay. But it brings the house down every time you say it.
Every time you say it, but very interesting movie. Quentin Tarantino, that's my review of it, if you will, and I'll let DB and Tracy chime in. Quentin Tarantino is here, 888-742-3345.
I know you. Bringing desperate men in alive is a good way to get yourself dead. You can't catch me sleeping if I don't close my eyes. I don't want to work that hard. No one said the job's supposed to be easy. No one said it's supposed to be that hard, neither.
That played pretty good as a radio play.
Like that, right? Yeah, I like to play trailers because it gives you, it paints a picture, right? While you're listening, that's really.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. I'm kind of curious. All right, so we've talked about some of the other characters, but what did you guys think of the character Daisy Domergue? All right, the female prisoner. What did you all feel about her?
We had Jennifer on the show yesterday. By the way, she's already nominated for a Golden Globe, right? And the movie hasn't even come out. I don't know what kind of tricks Quentin Tarantino got in playing in Hollywood.
I'm tricking.
He's out there tricking. He's on the casting couch.
Tricky Q.
Trick Daddy.
It's amazing because when you meet this woman in person, and then you see her transform into Daisy. Like she sat here yesterday, and it was like. I was poking at her to make sure she was, still
alive.
But the way she transformed into that character, and
it's great. I mean, it's true acting. Yeah. It's great acting, man. Yeah, and the way I always thought about, one of the things about the Domergue character is, you're watching the whole movie, like, where is she coming from? Yeah. What is the deal about her? And you don't really know the true deal until towards the end. But the idea that I wanted to start off with is that she's like a Manson girl out west.
Yeah.
Just a crazy homicidal girl out west.
That she had a little something was. This might sound awkward, but it was something slightly sexy about.
You know what?
Because she could take a hit.
Was that your intent?
Well, that's one of the that's one of the things about her. She has that. Do you remember Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah, she did that with Sean Penn.
Yeah, exactly. Man, when she takes the carrot, pretends it's like
they trying to teach the
a blowjob lesson.
That's what girls do in high school.
But I remember a single white female.
Oh yeah,
she graduated,
and she did that.
She was a crazy bitch in that one too.
Yeah. So she's still a crazy bitch after all these years.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, and you exploited that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That was great of you.
Yeah.
All right. What did you think of the movie, DB?
I thought it was great because you really you do get to make movies that you want.
Yeah.
But I feel like on this one, you kind of went above and beyond because the script got leaked and you had to rewrite it. Mm-hmm. You pushed to get the movie made and released in theaters on 70 millimeter, which hasn't been done since Ron Howard's Far and Away in '92.
Right on.
So and plus you had to get the cast that you wanted.
Yeah.
Would you ever trust your vision with anybody else? Because I know your first movie, My Best Friend's Wedding, Tony Scott redid that for True Romance.
My Best Friend's Wedding wasn't part of that. True Romance was a script unto itself.
Okay.
Look, that was my first script, and Tony did it. Now I loved what Tony did. I loved the way he did that movie and stuff. And I think True Romance is a classic. I appreciate it. Would I do that now?
Yeah. Would you ever write something and trust it in the hands with somebody else?
Not really. I mean, if I really, I'm probably not going to spend the time to write a script just to give it to somebody else right now. I mean, maybe someday, but right now I'm not that interested in that.
Right. So I also wanted to ask about how much leeway do you give your actors to do? Because you can write the screenplay the way it is, but you can't write certain quirky things that they do when they're filming, like Jennifer Jason Leigh making all these crazy sexual things after she gets punched in the face.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a good analogy. I mean, the thing is, they're there to say my dialogue. That's I'm paying them to do that, not to just make it up as they go along or kind of half learn it and then they just kind of fill in the blanks. No. I'm paying them to play my characters and I'm paying them to say my dialogue. However, stuff like what you're just talking about there, that is something that she brought to the character. Once she started getting familiar with Daisy and when she started feeling Daisy, that was just kind of her way of expressing it. And me and Sam couldn't believe it. We couldn't. And as a matter of fact, it was one of those things where we shot Sam's side first.
Yeah.
And because we had to wait for the snowfall to be falling in just the right way again, we didn't do their side for like another week and a half or so. And so by that time, she's really kind of feeling her oats. She knows who Daisy is now in a way that she didn't on day one, which is like when we did Sam's side. And so we go and do that. And then all of a sudden, she's just acting like a crazy bitch. I mean, some of the shit I didn't even use is like, that little stick, the window stick that she's kind of playing peekaboo with. At one point, she started gnawing on it. Sam couldn't believe what he was seeing, and Sam's like, "Damn, I kind of wish we could do my side over again so I can react to that shit." And I go, "Okay, well, in a week and a half or 2 weeks when we got back to doing it again, we did Sam's side over again so he could actually react to it."
Hey, Quentin, Sam actually sounds like that when the cameras are off.
No, yeah.
Stupid.
Jennifer, she actually talked about the process that it took to audition and read for this part with you. Mm-hmm. And this is how she explained it. You had to audition for this role?
I did, yeah, but I was thrilled to audition.
Because you don't have to audition much anymore, right?
Not that much, but like the opportunity to just read for Quentin Tarantino was so exciting for me.
What is it like? Like, what was your auditioning experience with Quentin?
Well, here's what's interesting. It's usually when you audition, it's your one chance to sort of own the role. So you have sort of nothing to lose, right?
Yeah.
But when you're auditioning for something you really desperately want, you can be nervous all the same. And usually a director will sit across from you and you'll read with the casting director or you'll read with a reader and they watch you. But what Quentin does is he comes and he sits right beside you and he opens the script and he reads with you. So immediately your nerves are diminished because he's in it with you and he's playing the other parts.
Wow.
Wow, man. That's, and Quentin, after she said that, man, I said, man, Quentin's coming tomorrow, man. This is it, man. This is it. You got to go for yours. I mean, based on her advice, you got to go for yours. And so DB is such a great big fan of yours, man. I hope you don't mind, Quentin. He actually pulled a piece of dialogue from one of your movies and was hoping that he could read next to you.
Sure.
Come over here and next to Heather so you could. Who you going to be, DB?
I'm going to be Jules.
You're going to be Jules? Okay. All right, tell him the movie, DB.
It's Pulp Fiction.
Okay,
man.
I'm just you know
He's
we
gonna
got
be
an
Vincent
audience,
Travolta.
all right?
You know, I'm gonna be Sam Jackson.
Okay, cool.
All right, here we go. DB reading for Quentin Tarantino.
Go, DB.
So you want me to start at the top of the page?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, it breaks down like this. It's legal to buy it, it's legal to own it, and if you're the proprietor of a hash bar, it's legal to sell it. It's legal to carry it, which doesn't really matter because get a load of this. If the cops stop you, it's illegal for them to search you. Searching you is a right that the cops in Amsterdam don't have.
That did it, man. I'm fucking going. That's all there is to it.
Hey, you'll dig it the most, man. But you know what the funniest thing about Europe is?
What?
It's the little differences. A lot of the same shit we got here, they got there, but there, it's a little different.
Examples.
Well, in Amsterdam, you can buy a beer in a movie theater. And I don't mean like in a paper cup either. They give you a glass of beer, like in a bar. And in Paris, you can buy beer at McDonald's. Also, you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris?
They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese.
No, they got the metric system. They wouldn't know what the fuck a quarter pounder is. They call it Royale with cheese.
Scene. Yo, why you give him the heavy lifting, dude?
That's kind of a shitty audition for you, man. I gotta say.
What the hell just happened?
Yes, no, what?
They don't call it a quarter pounder, do they?
Clarify. Look, but I think I got the role. I got the role.
Quentin Tarantino. I was like, this is your big chance, man. Show off when Quentin get here, man.
Yeah, you didn't do the Ezekiel speech. What the fuck?
No, I can't fuck that up. I can't tarnish that. That's cinematic history.
All right, all
I
right.
was entertained.
Fanatic is on the line. Say hello to Quentin Tarantino.
Yo, hold on. Okay, Quentin, before I address my question, I gotta pay homage to the king, the queen, and the other queen. Had to be Tracy G and my man Sway. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all show. Awesome.
Thank you, Fanatic.
Tarantino.
Thank you.
Oh man, listen, I've been listening to y'all from day one, so that's it. What it
Hey,
is.
man, we got Quentin Tarantino in here. He's only a few more seconds. You might want to go ahead and shoot that in.
I'm gonna drop it right now. So, do you have any plans on doing another Pulp Fiction? Since y'all went into that Pulp Fiction, little demo, is there a plan to do another one? Please say yes.
Yeah, nah, I hate to disappoint you, mate. I think I did what I wanted to do, and I think it's time to exit the stage on that one. I did have an idea a long time ago, because if you saw Reservoir Dogs, I always imagined that John Travolta's character Vincent and Michael Madsen's character Mr. Blonde were actually brothers. And so I did have an idea way back in the 90s of doing a prequel with both the two brothers in Amsterdam together during that time when Vincent was in Amsterdam. But time has caught up with all of us. And I don't think, since both of them died, I don't think we can go back in time to have before they died anymore age-wise.
Well, that was like a teaser for you, Fanatic, artificial hope. But I hope that was that gratifying for you?
Well, I mean, it was. That was just one of the best movies of that time. And Quentin, you're a genius, man. If I do a little acting, if I ever had the chance to get in front of you to do something like that, audition for one of your pieces, man, I would love to do that. But man, that was
okay, Fanatic, man. You're a citizen, man.
Find him on Twitter.
Get a lot of that reaction from men, huh?
Yeah. No, I gotta say, I'm not gonna do it, but I had thought about if I was actually gonna do a Pulp Fiction. It wouldn't have all the cast of characters.
Okay.
But it would be Sam Jackson after his Walking the Earth, like Kane and Kung Fu. All right. And so that would have been going on for the last 25 years. All right. And then something happens to make him come back into the fold.
Man, but you brought up Kung Fu, man. That was David Carradine.
Yeah.
Man, would you ever do something like, bring Kung Fu back, dude?
Well, I brought David Carradine back and Kill Bill.
Oh, that's a good point. Good point. Yeah, you did your service. All right. Brad and you.
I did what I could.
Yeah. You hooked it on. You hooked him up. Brad, what up?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Brad.
Hey, so last night, actually, my nephew and I were just talking about how we're definitely going to see Hateful Eight this year.
Good on you.
Day it comes out, and I just wanted to know, when you choose your actors, is it something that you have them in mind when you're actually writing the script, or once the script is finished, you kind of figure that out, or is it mainly
No, it's kind of a mix.
During the casting process.
No, it's kind of a mix. It kind of depends. Like, just to give you an example, in the case of the Hateful Eight, all the actors that I'd worked with before, I wrote the parts for, like Michael Madsen and Tim Roth and Sam and all those guys. I wrote the piece for. But the actors I hadn't worked with before, Damien Bashir and Jennifer Jason Leigh, Those were characters that no, I didn't write them for character. I just wrote the characters, and then it was just trying to find the best actor to play that character.
Okay, all right. Heather, are you gonna say anything to Quentin? You got him sitting right there.
I was just wondering if he got bullied a lot when he was a kid.
Oh no way, man! I bullied.
Because all of the violence, and we were talking about like hanging on. Somebody's gonna get it, but and I wonder where that comes from.
Yeah, I didn't get.
You were the bully.
Yeah, I stood up to bullies. Okay. I think bullies are always told one thing in particular. Like, one of these days, you're gonna try that shit or the wrong person. All right. So growing up, I wanted to be the wrong person.
Got you.
Oh, okay.
And I always learned that hey, if you hit first, you usually hit last.
Oh, damn.
That's gay.
Yeah, that's gangster. How do you when you get protests? Like I know people boycotted movies and
well, there's talk about boycott. We'll see what the deal is. Yeah.
But when you hear that, how do you prep for that? Like what have you heard about the boycott?
It seems to be going away to some degree or another. I think the cops actually realize that they just kind of overreacted and actually don't look so good, in the whole situation. Look, that was unfortunate, but as far as I'm concerned, they started it.
Okay.
I have a right to go out and protest what I consider police brutality.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you can protest police brutality and not say that all cops are bad and all cops are murderers and everything. But there is a problem in this country with police brutality, and there is a problem with the shooting of unarmed black and brown males, and there is a problem with institutional racism, particularly in law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, now, if that ain't something you would ever, not maybe do a movie about, but would you do a piece about that at all?
Well, I'm kind of doing my piece by going out and marching and, saying my case. I mean, look, the thing about it is this. Like, you talk to black folks, they're like, hey, this hasn't just been happening the last year and a half.
No,
all right, it's been going on for a while. But in the last 2 years, last year and a half, it has penetrated the mainstream media, in particularly because of the video footage that is being shown.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you just sit on your couch and watch one sickening instance after another, at some point I was starting to think, maybe it's getting so bad that it can change.
Yeah.
That people are, almost like the way the Vietnam War, at a certain point when it's shown on TV, that actually greased the wheels to eventually get it to stop. Because people are like, hey, I'm tired of watching my sons and my son's getting killed on TV.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, well, maybe this is getting so bad that maybe change could begin to happen. But, if I'm sitting on my couch, where am I a part of this change?
Yeah.
And the people that put up the Rise Up October protests got in touch with me, and they said, look, you got to choose a side, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel that this is bad and you feel this needs to stop, and absolutely these murders have to stop, then, to be silent is to acquiesce. To be silent is to be vocal for the wrong side. And you need to just say, what side are you on? And part of the thing about the protests, though, wasn't just, walking in the street calling cops names. That wasn't what I was about.
Yeah.
Part of the protest was the fact that was recognizing the people who died as victims.
Yeah.
And that they were human beings. They were not statistics. They were people who lived and now they died. These are their pictures. These are their names. These are their families, the loved ones that they left behind. And part of the situation was to actually bring the family, 40 families out to New York to tell their stories and to bear witness to their stories. And that was a very, very moving situation.
Yeah.
And then once you do that and you talk with these families, then there's no going back.
Right.
Yeah. So you chose sides. I like that. I'm on the same side you on. Black Lives Matter. Quentin Tarantino, thank you for coming by.
Always a pleasure.
And good to know that you weren't getting slapped around in school. The Hateful Eight is in theaters.
No one gave me a pink belly.
No, nobody did that. December 25th. DB, you want to say anything in closing?
Go see Hateful Eight because I did, and it was great.
All right, there it is.
Right on.
Okay, great. Yeah, great audition, too. All right, up next, we got Eve Plum.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Eve Plum coming up right now.
Holy shit.
We're going to introduce you to her, right?
I would love that.
All right, okay.
Dawn, Portrait of a Teenage Runaway, man.
Yeah, she played the prostitute on that.
Man.
Wow, Jan Brady was a prostitute.
Yeah.
All right, that's up next. Sway in the morning.
It's Sway in the morning, only
on Shade 45.